Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another Monday edition of the Wahoo All In Live Workouts. Today we have, of course, our illustrious leader, Coach Neil Henderson. He will be guiding us through our workout today. All the information on the workout is linked down in the description below. As I say, every single day we do a live stream, which is Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Wednesday we'll do some some strength and kind of stretching, and then Friday we've got our special guests from today back on for a Q&A and discussion on Friday as well. So 12 p.m. Eastern every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Come back and get your workout in, and then have a discussion or a little recovery spin on Fridays. With that being said, today's special guest is none other than Sarah Sturm, BWR 2019 winner. Funny thing about that is if you've listened to her tell the story of winning BWR, then you know that she was unaware that she was in the lead. She got in a great group and then was made aware she was in the lead and buried herself for her longest ride ever, over 100 miles, and went on to win her longest ride ever, which was Belgian Waffle Ride there in San Diego. So I'm sure we'll hear a little bit more about that. If not today, definitely on Friday. She is a Durango native that's in Colorado. So she's at elevation and trains at elevation, sleeps at elevation. And we all know that can definitely lend to some good performance overall, as Neil can attest living in Boulder. Let's go ahead and bring Neil on now. I know Sarah's having a little bit of technical issues. I blame it on the elevation, but let's bring Neil in and we'll let Sarah sort out some technical issues. Hey, Neil.
Good morning, Matt. How you doing?
Good. Good to have you back on a Monday.
Yes, definitely good to be here. We are ready to rock out with getting away with it today.
Getting away with it is the workout. Anything you want to tell people? I think everybody right now tuned in on a regular basis knows pretty much what to do, but you want to run through any information?
Yep. Today's session is one that only has one target throughout. The 40P target today for everything is based on FTP. So if you need to make adjustments, which I'm dialed down to 90%, you can actually go over in the little gear icon and then just make under settings, keep everything as a just like all of them. So you don't even have to do that. You can just go down to 90% and turn off auto pause. You can stay synced with this, and your devices would be there and should be good to go. We're going to be doing basically a 45-minute workout today. It's below threshold. By dialing it down to 90%, I'm going to stay just below threshold on some of the harder points and hopefully be able to talk.
Yeah, I mean, after the weekend, I think you had anybody that follows you on Strava knows that you did some climbing yesterday, and you're in Boulder, so you start at like what 6,500 feet, and then you basically just go up from there. So
yeah, I think yesterday's average elevation was over 7,000 feet. And climbed quite a bit.
90% is solid, man. I applaud you for keeping it at 90. I think I'd be bumped down to about 75 or 80 today and just try to skate through this one. So yeah. Some solidarity there for sure. It's awesome.
Yep. Thanks for joining. Yep. This is good sometimes to just get things moving along. That'll actually help speed the recovery process to a degree, as long as you're eating, drinking, and sleeping as well.
Yeah, I know I'll be on for a little open, probably 30, open 60 a little bit later today, just to spin the legs out after yesterday. So it's interesting to watch, though, seeing a lot of Strava numbers these days, and people are definitely, you can tell, getting back outside. Big rides from a lot of people in general. Everybody is glad to be getting back outside and putting some of their stuff fitness to the test.
Definitely. I mean, it's one of those things, you take what you build inside, outside, and have a little more fun, go a little faster.
Yeah, I even heard an interview where none other than Cipollini said that people are going to be coming out of quarantine stronger than they've ever been in their life. So and he attributed it directly to the smart trainer, and he was like, "It's going to happen. Like, you just wait, it's going to happen." So we'll go ahead and we've got Sarah in. Let's go ahead and bring Sarah on. Sarah, how are you?
Hi.
Good to see you.
Nice to see you guys.
You're out of breath already.
Oh my God, I am. We had kind of a big weekend.
Yeah, you got after it this weekend?
Yeah, we did a little high altitude, 11,000 feet bike pushing through snow.
Got up there.
But I'm feeling so fresh.
So fresh. Well, you do know, I don't know if you heard, but you do know you can go into the settings there on
I did.
And dial down.
Dial down.
I did.
Everybody else that's listening and watching right now, though, that's not for you unless you had a completely epic weekend as well. I expect those numbers to be 90 and above for sure.
I'm cheating, but you can't.
That's right. We're gonna try and hold you virtually accountable here.
Oh no.
All right. Well, I'll let you guys get into the workout. Sarah, thanks for joining today. Neil will basically just be kind of guiding us through the workout, talking about, the impact of the workout and everything, and then and kind of how it impacts not just physical fitness, but physiology and kind of what you should be seeing there. And then have some conversation about, things to come, what you've been up to, 2020. I mean, there's a ton of topics to talk about, and we'll get into more details on Friday as well for our Q&A.
Cool.
Thanks, I'll let you guys get into it. Thanks, guys.
All right, Matt. Thanks.
Hi,
Thanks,
Neil.
Sarah. It's nice to meet you here. You're
nice
just
to
a
meet
couple
you.
mountains over, huh?
I know.
Durango is one of my favorite places for sure.
Oh, good. Have you been here a bunch?
I have. Sure? I've done Iron Horse, the road, and the mountain bike, and
awesome.
Yeah, been out there a few times, so it's a very good spot.
Yeah, it's nice. I'm very grateful to be here during all of this.
Yeah, not a bad spot to hunker down and be stuck.
Totally. Yeah, I know. I feel very, very grateful for that. So.
Well, thanks for joining us. We're going to go ahead and get started in 30 seconds here. So let's just make sure everyone gets everything loaded up. This is the Getting Away With It workout. It's 45 minutes long. It's effectively like we're escaping the office. So for some of you who are at the home office, like most of us, here's your escape for under an hour. We're going to do basically 4-ish climbing efforts. They're all going to stay under threshold. Even if you have it at 100%, you're going to pretty much just touch on threshold at the highest point. So it's not a super high intensity session, one that you can do, even when you're a little fatigued. All right, we're going to get this started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hit that play button. Other thing you're going to see are some higher and lower cadence targets. So it's not just going to be straight endurance, steady pedaling. We're going to have some bigger gear and a little bit of smaller gear throughout. So a little bit of a mix. Here we go. Just getting warmed up. I'm actually already starting to sweat. That's a good thing. Looks like are you in a garage there too? Yeah.
A gray shirt was a bad call.
Yeah,
I kind of want to be just a little bit out of my garage though, in the fresh air.
Yeah.
Lessons learned.
Definitely. Yeah. If I open up too much, the dogs will start barking and going crazy. So I'll keep myself locked in. It's gonna get hot today down here. I don't know what the weather is there, but I think it's gonna be upper 80s today in Boulder by the afternoon.
Oh wow, that is toasty. I know. I'm gonna have to text my boyfriend to bring me my towel.
I have forgotten more than once, sitting on here saying, sweating the whole way through. So you're lucky you got someone to help out.
This is one of I'm glad it's, live with everyone watching and participating with us, but yeah. I don't think I've ever really done a summer garage trainer session.
Welcome. Welcome into next level.
Yeah. Big day. Super pro. The photo that was on the promotional thing for this, I don't know if you could see the snow falling in it.
Yeah, that's more when you come inside.
Yeah, but this is good. This is kind of the sharpening that I never seem to get.
Yep, it's not a bad. There it is. Yep. So
There
there's
it
your
is.
promo shot. Got the snow coming inside. Yeah, and I mean, I've actually had snow in end of May up there in Durango for Iron Horse.
Oh yeah, the Iron Horse has been canceled before.
Yep.
Like in recent times because of snow.
A couple years ago, maybe.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, last year I was riding through like huge snowbanks. Yeah, this coming weekend it was like quite snowy.
Yep. All right.
I think I even raced in leg warmers.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not uncommon in Colorado in the spring.
Right.
All right, we're gonna go up a little climb here. This is the Arcali climb, or Calis in Andorra. Actually, I've actually ridden this climb.
Oh, cool.
So, gonna keep a moderately high cadence around 90 RPM. This is kind of like a warm-up climb. I can tell you when I rode it, it wasn't a warm-up for me. It was a full throttle effort just to get up it. But beautiful spot. Andorra is pretty much all uphill and downhill.
Oh, that sounds great.
So Sarah, you ride and race lots of different types of bikes, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, mostly, I mean, these days, mostly gravel and cyclocross. But I've done some road and not like super pro level, but.
You won like the Sea Otter crit though last year, right?
That was a weird one for me to win.
Well, that's pretty solid. We'll count that.
Yeah.
And we're gonna rev up a little high cadence right now. Still not intense. Maybe 60-ish% of threshold, but trying to get up to 110. Whew.
Yeah, I have a question on the cadence thing.
Yeah.
This is something that I'm honestly a pretty like new user to like indoor smart trainers.
Yeah.
And it seems like I need to train myself to do not what my natural tendency is, which is to mash.
Yeah.
That's really hard for me.
Exactly. So the reason that we do, have some of the high cadence type work like this is for neuromuscular coordination. So if you think about like just pedaling a bike, it's not the most complicated thing in the world. It's not like playing golf or anything like that, but there's still a neuromuscular component to it. And when we get tired, now we can slow down that cadence. What happens is we sometimes are contracting muscles and working against ourselves. And so by training the high cadence, we develop better patterns for recruiting the right muscles at the right time and not working against ourselves.
Whoa.
It'll pay dividends when you go long over time, because that efficiency and economy too. So if you think of working against yourself, something we sometimes call co-contraction with the muscles. If you're
that's interesting.
Working against yourself, you have one muscle group acting against another muscle group. So for the net output, you're doing more internal work.
Right.
Your heart rate would be higher, the amount of energy that you're consuming, carbohydrate, fat, etc. You'd be using more of it. Now we're going to slow down to a lower cadence, which is probably more into your happy place from what you've said. So we're going down to about 60 RPM.
So are you saying that I shouldn't just mash up every climb?
Bingo. A little mix.
Damn it.
So great example. Like I've worked with some pretty good riders over time, and one of them was Evelyn Stevens. Came into the sport late, massive engine, crazy tough competitor. But
my
she didn't
hero.
She didn't always have the most refined pedaling technique and skills in a bunch. And there were things that we did to improve the capacity. And so certain types of things in training with higher cadence shift the effort away from a muscular strain to a cardiovascular strain. So for her, that big cardiovascular engine, we could save the muscular effort. And we'll bring up that cadence again now to 85. we could shift from it being a muscular effort in a low gear to a cardiovascular strain, which doesn't get as fatigued in terms of your just the output. It's less stressful. And so that when you make that big move in a bigger gear and you go to that muscular system, you've got more in reserve there. And so
that makes sense.
You save on the cardiovascular system with a higher cadence, like you save the muscular system by relying more on your cardiovascular system with a higher cadence. But when you deliver deliver that attack, you got to go to your strength. So for Evie, something like the Mur de Huy or up the wall in Philly, she had success in both of those and other steep uphills. It was then more of the muscular effort, but you had to save it beforehand. A little bit higher cadence now, right around 90. Getting into our first longer climb here.
Woohoo!
Into the mountains. We're with Michael Cotty here, I think in the Pyrenees at this point.
I feel like I'm there.
Exactly. Feels good. It's like mountains. He's got a jacket on. Oh, it looks like it is raining.
Oh, that looks nice.
That's pretty legit.
It's pretty hot here too.
Yeah.
And I don't have the fancy like earbud things. I'm just like basically wearing like winter earmuffs.
Yeah.
Which feels awesome.
Exactly. Everything's blocked out. You can just get totally in the zone.
Totally. Exactly. Like real hot around the ears.
Exactly. You gotta get ready for the summer. It's gonna get hot before you know it.
I know. Going back to Evelyn Stevens though, I was a collegiate athlete when she was kind of rising through the ranks, and I really I've never met her in person, but she was a great role model as someone who also kind of was like, I just like that she clueless is the wrong word, but she just was so naturally talented, and it was so pure, and you could just tell she was a great person, but also this incredible athlete. So
yep, definitely. It was undiscovered for a while, that capacity, but man, she was just a really great person, as you mentioned, is a great person, and a
good role model.
For sure. I was always happy. I was happy to be able to work with her, and she's got a little one now at home.
Oh, she does?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we're going to stay right around 90 RPM. We're bumping up the intensity a touch. This is probably in the 70% FTP range, so not killer, but definitely doing some work. Whew.
I do like with Sufferfest, it's pretty simple, but it'll just tell me okay, more higher cadence. Go.
Exactly. Yeah. Evie used the Sufferfest during her training, or some of the indoor work she would do. Just get that specificity and get it done.
So can I ask you another question while we're climbing?
Yep.
So you're breathing as heavily as I am?
Yep.
It's all strategic. So is I don't train or race with power, just for, I don't know, motivation and mental parts of the ride and race, I guess. But with that, I don't really ever know, I don't pay attention to cadence or really anything. I just go off of intuition. How much of that we're working on right now are you thinking about during your race? Or are you just going off of intuition?
Yeah, I would say it depends on the type of event, the type of race, and the effort that you're putting in. Like when you're in a group, so we're going to bump up cadence just a touch more. If you're in a group, generally speaking, 95 RPM, you can do it. You're trying to just minimize your work to stay with the group. And so you're just trying to be as smooth as you can. For cadence, you can even just look at other riders, those who are more successful, kind of maybe sometimes mimicking a little bit of what they're doing. They're in a smaller gear right now rather than a big gear. That might make sense. We got to 10K long climb or whatever. Might not
Right.
want to be pushing it heavy right now. I'm not doing the big gear.
Right.
If you're on your own, you got to kind of revert to that internal computer you've built then. Having a feeling of what effort this is, how hard are you breathing, how long can you go at this effort, how much fluid and fuel do you need to take in to sustain that effort. All of those pieces. Right up around 80% now of FTP with a 95 cadence. So solid effort here, just a minute and change to go. So for me, training with the information in front of you helps you develop that. So sometimes I'll have people doing these efforts, just close their eyes then. Again, you're not going to do this on the open road, but inside, okay, I'm 230 watts, 95 RPM. What does my breathing rate feel like? What's that tension on the legs at this output? What does that feel like? I'm trying to develop my own supercomputer.
Oh, interesting. Supercomputer.
Yeah.
I like that.
This one's a good one generally.
Yeah. I know. I think that's why I could probably go more on the numbers side now, kind of stepping up my racing.
Mm-hmm.
But I rely on my brain a little too much, maybe.
Yeah, and that's the thing of finding the balance. So like, again, I'll come back to Evie, like she did the hour record on the track. In that, there was no information, no data. Like we collected it, but you can't have the computer in front of you.
Oh, really?
It's mounted under the saddle. The rider's not allowed to see anything.
God,
other than I was giving
epic.
pacing. Exactly. I was giving pacing once a lap, every 24 seconds or so on the 333 meter track. And we'll bring it back down and recover. Whew. So try to stay smooth here. 85 RPM, upper body. Just relax those shoulders. Pedal and breathe right now. Staying smooth, trying to get all the motion just from your hips down. You don't want to have your upper body waggling around, just wasting energy. So keeping your core engaged.
I had a coach who called that rooting the pig when you're like
up and yes. Yep, definitely. We see that and like we get the wiggle side to side. It's like the salmon upstream thing.
Yeah.
So we want to
salmon.
Exactly. Consistently keep it calm and steady and controlled. Good. One of those 2 minutes of recovery are gone already. We got one more to go though.
Neil, why aren't you breathing as hard as me?
Oh, I'm breathing hard. I just have practiced this over the past few months of talking through the effort. It's a skill set way back when I used to teach more indoor cycling sessions. It's one of those things. If I'm not able to talk and guide people through it, then it's not as effective. So it's a trained skill. And I also use it in races. Then I talk to people when I'm near my limit or even over my limit to try to get in their head to say, hey, this guy's talking to me and I'm like gonna die. And I'm dying too, don't worry. But I'm just faking it. Fake it till you make it.
I bet you're really good. I bet you're good at playing the didgeridoo. That circular breathing.
I have one small didgeridoo that I practice on occasion.
Wait, really?
In my den. Yep, a little one.
No way.
All right, we're gonna go into big gear. Yep. I also have a boomerang, but I don't practice that. So I don't want to hurt anyone, including myself, with it. All right, we're gonna go 60 RPM. So now we're climbing big gear. If you want to get out of the saddle, feel free. I tend to stay seated more, but just depends on your individual capacity. So I'm more of a cyclist, but those who come from a running background often find that they can just keep their heart rate down and keep producing power getting up out of the saddle. Me, I'm too big. When I start to get out of the saddle, my heart rate shoots up and I'm not going to last too long.
Huh. I don't know what I am.
A bike rider.
Yeah.
You just find different things, some climbs, there's one climb that I like to ride in Boulder on occasion. It's called Lick Skillet. It's basically a mile, but I think it averages 14 or 15% grade. And you really can't get out of the saddle. It just forces you because it's loose and you just got to keep pedaling.
That is something with gravel racing I've noticed.
You don't get out.
Like, well, it depends on the terrain, just like you were saying. Like, if it's like kind of a mad chloride, we have that here in Colorado.
Yeah.
It's like a nice buffed out surface.
Then
I'm like up, dashing. But then like at Sea Otter, like for the cross country mountain bike race, we did it on our gravel bikes. There were some steep pitches, and I was like, oh, you gotta sit.
Yeah, gonna spin out. We're gonna try to get up to that higher cadence right now, around 90 RPM if you can. Good. Yeah, and having that mix, like a workout like this, you're going back and forth between, and a lot of climbs, you know, if you're not like out in a big mountain here, it's not all steady. You know, you have different climbs that have pitches and steeper and higher cadence sections. And so practicing that in your training is good. We're going to rev up here for a little bit, get ready, and do a more intense, about 75% of FTP at 110 RPM. So I purposefully think about engaging core more to be able to stay controlled with it, with that higher cadence. Heart rate's definitely going to be climbing for that effort, but good thing we're going to slow down in about 10 seconds. Good work. And back down to 90. That's normal. More normal, at least. Good work. All right. This is like a little reprieve in the middle of this effort. Back down to around 60, 65% of FTP, 90 RPM. Should be able to do this for a while, depending how tired you are, which I'm going to take this time to take a drink.
Oh, that's smart. I forgot what water tastes like.
Needed that. Whew. There's the sweat going. All right. We're going to go to a big gear again here, so we can just start slowing down. And if you want to get out of the saddle, feel free. So just a little bit different efforts up and out of the saddle. Still not super intense. You know, we're still in that well below threshold at this point. The guy in the video here, Michael Cotty, is pretty well known for standing consistently. I'm going to sit back down, keep pushing that 60 RPM, which something like Lick Skillet, 60 RPM is hard to hold. Got to have the right gear to be able to go 60 RPM.
Yeah.
So you've done Lick Skillet, you said?
Yeah, we had like a little bike packing mission up there. Yeah, and it was a little challenging with the bags, but I actually kind of like doing that stuff with bike packing bags because I noticed, yeah, and some more traction.
Ah, yeah, there you go. So this
I
weekend,
almost feel like a better defender.
Yeah, there's a fellow who actually is one of our male models in all our strength videos who did Everesting up Lick Skillet this weekend.
Oh.
I think, well, he did it on a mountain bike, but still, I think it was, if I recall, 42 ascents, which is just
right. Because how
crazy.
long is that climb?
It's like just under a mile from like the bottom of it to the top of it.
Yeah, but one of my friends did that, the Everesting, Keegan Swenson.
Oh yeah,
I think
fastest.
Yeah, he crushed it.
Holy cow, 7 hours 40. Like I can't even fathom that.
I know.
It's nutty.
That kid is crazy.
Definitely. Yeah, that's just amazing. And he did it at altitude too.
Oh yeah.
That's
It's cool though, like his parents come out to support him, his roommates.
Yep, definitely. That had a good crew. Okay, we're gonna rev up for the final here. Last 30 seconds. We're up at 110 right now. And it's gonna get even higher. Can you do 120 and hold it? There we go. 20 seconds. Woo, we're gonna rev up from 120 to 130. It's not easy.
Oh my.
And we're 130 for the last 10 seconds. Oh boy. And yowzers. That gets you ready for track racing.
I'm still going. I'm a little behind.
Okay. Have you ever ridden on a velodrome, Sarah?
That was like my first weekend of collegiate cycling. They're like, "Do you know what a velodrome is?" No.
That's awesome. Where was it? Which track?
Colorado Springs.
Yeah, that's an easier one to ride first.
Yeah, they're like, just don't coast.
Yeah, exactly. You one time like, forget.
Okay. Yeah.
Get the lurch.
I think that's where being a novice kind of helps.
No thinking, just go.
No, and then they're like, "Hey, you're doing the points race at nationals."
That's a scary one to do as an early race.
Oh my God. Similar to that sea otter crit, I was just like, off the front, go.
Just go, yeah. So yeah. I'm going to play the game different than everyone else.
Yeah, I'm scared.
Sometimes that's how you have success. Yeah. Find out what works.
Yep, totally. Yeah, well, is that your bread and butter?
That's one of my happy places. I didn't come to it till later. Like I was already coaching
really?
Taylor, and he had like won events on the track before I ever pedaled on a track ever.
Oh, really?
But it was just figuring out what it was. No, I grew up near the Trexler Town track in Pennsylvania, like an hour and change away, but I never went to it. And so first time I was ever on a velodrome was actually in Bordeaux, France, like a week before the Beijing Olympics. So I had already gotten Taylor prepared. He had already won a junior world championship and elite national title on the track, and I got on track for the first time there. So since then, I've loved it.
Awesome. It's so fun.
Yeah, my only national title was from a track race from Team Pursuit. All right, here goes. Here goes a big effort, 100 RPM. We're just below threshold right now, around 90-ish%. Or if you didn't dial it down 100%. I'm going to try to keep talking. But again, coming back to Evie, the track, we had a little mini velodrome in a warehouse back in like 2011, 12, and 13. And
how many?
It was 110 meters or 120 meters around. Tiny.
Oh my God, Dizzy Drome.
Yes.
Dizzy.
And I was coaching a number of other juniors, riders, and I would have Evie come twice a week to those junior sessions just for her getting over riding close to others and some unpredictable riders and just fast and crazy. Right. And it helped develop skills. Bet. All right, 95 RPM. So still good effort here. Let's call it 85%. Stepping it down slightly. Whew. But yeah, that was the Boulder Indoor Cycling was what that was called. Got torn down then, maybe around 2014. Oh. Unfortunately.
There's talk of a velodrome here.
That would be awesome. I would come out for that.
Yeah, there's like this whole unused mesa that I'll tell you about once we're done with this effort.
Yep. No, that would be sweet. Yeah, velodromes are just a great place to learn lots of different things. Riding in groups on the track definitely elevates your skill. You know, people are like, "Oh, isn't that scary not having brakes?" It's like, no, everyone's in the same position. So
totally.
actually safer in some regards.
Have you done any of the fixed gear crits?
I have not. Haven't done any of those. Yeah, I mean, I think
as far as safety,
it's an interesting situation. I prefer a fixed gear on the track, but I can see the attraction. I get it.
Just because of the road, or
yeah, there's just so much dynamic, like pedal clearance,
cornering,
and all those things are just a little bit more of an unknown element. But again,
right? Because go ahead.
It's cool. It's a cool event. It's just not my thing. I got to go to work. I got family and kids, and I got other stuff to do.
A couple of my teammates have come from the Red Hook crit world, and they're so burly.
Yeah.
And so ballsy.
Yeah.
Mad respect.
I was going to say, you got to have very big commitment and confidence. All right, back down to around 90 RPM here, 75-ish % FTP, so manageable. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's getting easier.
Sure.
Still think about your core engagement, keeping those shoulders down, breathe, using your diaphragm. Looks like we're getting a call from the boss here.
Uh-oh. Are we in trouble?
I think we might be in trouble, but don't worry. I'm not going to tell.
Does he know my RPM is low?
I was going to say, I think Matt might be able to see. I'm not going to judge you. I look 10.
No.
Nice work. We're just on a steady climb here where you have enough gearing to be able to go 90 RPM. Not every climb can you hold a high RPM, right?
No.
Sometimes you're just limited to the gear you got.
Yes.
Put it in gear and go. Yesterday I did Magnolia and forgot how steep that is. And unrelenting.
How steep is it?
It averages like 9%, but the first 2K are like 12 to 14%. So you're just in the hole from the beginning. And I hit it like maybe 2.5 hours into the ride.
Woo!
So I was feeling it. Took me way too long to climb it, we'll say, compared to normal. But it's on the gravel bike with 40 mil tires, which once I got onto the trails up above, and that was helpful. But the climbing part with the heavier tires was a little bit extra work.
I used to swim on swim team in middle school and high school, and we would train with a drag suit. So like super baggy, not hydrodynamic. Yeah. That's what I feel like training on the road with a cross or a gravel bike is.
Definitely. Very similar. I was actually a swim coach. So
oh really?
Yeah, that's part of my early background. I don't know. Well, I grew up in Pennsylvania. I've been out here since 97.
Okay, I was in Albuquerque.
Okay. Yeah, I coached the CU Triathlon Club team for triathlon back when I was in grad school here at CU. So, still 90 RPM and backing off a little bit intensity, right around 65%. Maybe 70. This is manageable now. So what stroke was your best swimming?
I was breaststroke.
Breaststroke? Okay. Yeah, I was more freestyle, but butterfly and breaststroke weren't too far behind. The funny thing is when I would do IM, my breaststroke would outsplit my backstroke.
What?
It was faster, yeah. I don't know what it is. There's something broken about how I do backstroke because I go nowhere.
Oh my gosh. I got a low battery.
Uh-oh.
Oh heavens. I might have to pause.
Got 13 minutes. Yeah.
Oh boy. Left?
Yeah. Yeah, we got a minute in this effort.
Okay.
And then you got 2 minutes of recovery, I think. So.
I still am not a pro at the setup yet.
Yeah.
My apologies.
That's all right. You're having an electromechanical.
Well, and our Wi-Fi went out.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yep, that'll make things more difficult.
A little bit.
Rowan Dennis also came from a swim background. He was actually discovered in a talent ID program in his school. He was a swimmer, and they brought ergs to the schools and like had this test. And they're like, "You should get on a bike." He's like, "Okay, I'm sick of waking up at 5 a.m. anyhow."
Yeah.
Before school swim and after all that. Yep. The hard part about swimming, but you can develop serious mental toughness as a swimmer. I think.
Yes.
I think it's one of the best backgrounds for endurance athletes.
Maybe that's what helped me.
Yeah.
All those
absolutely.
like 5 a.m. mornings is like a 14-year-old.
Exactly.
Sorry, Mom and Dad.
Exactly. All right. Get to go nice and easy now. 85 RPM. If you need to plug in, now would be a good time.
Okay, I'm going to do it.
Save the workout. Rescue operation. Yeah, with swimming, I mean, you have that sensory deprivation in a way. Like, you can't see much through the foggy goggles, through the foggles. You smell chlorine, the same thing. You feel the same water consistently.
You can't breathe when you want.
You can't hear much, exactly. You got this, like, restriction on breathing. And so
that is so brutal.
It's going massively hard, putting yourself in a physical, hole, and mentally just being okay with it. So I think that really works for what we see for long distance cycling events and endurance sports in general, that you just have to be comfortable in your own head by yourself and pushing that effort and just going. So it's a good background to have in swimming. I think Matt actually has a swim background. We may have him chime in when we're all done here and see what his events were.
I'll chime in now. I definitely have a swim background. I was the 5 o'clock in the morning kid for sure.
Yeah, you got it. Just what it is.
Yeah, 2-a-days, that whole thing. And then I went to the track and became a runner. Never any good at it. Just
and then you found a happy place on the bike.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. No, but the funny thing was, I was the funny kid that was a swimmer, but I had a BMX bike and I would like lay my handlebars like all the way down, and I would like get an aero position like on the BMX. Awesome. Yeah, still have the bike.
That's awesome. Yeah, for morning practices, I had to ride my bike. So that's how I started my multi-sport journey. Just had to get to swim practice. I'd have to ride. So there it is. Just developed. Yep. Back when I was a skateboarder too, we would ride our bikes to the skate ramp. Okay, we're gonna go at 90 or 70 RPM right now. So it developed some multi-sport skills there. Riding the half pipe and having to ride the bike to and from.
I just broke so many bones skateboarding.
Yeah.
I got like good bone density from that, I guess.
Yeah, I broke arm. I've got some scars still that are very permanent from days at the skate park.
It's so brutal.
Yep. The coolest thing though, way back, I don't know, it was when the Bones Brigade, we'll say. So it's a very long time ago. It was at Ocean City, Maryland on vacation, and the Bones Brigade showed up. Tony Hawk was there, skating the OCMD ramp, and that was the most amazing thing.
Oh man, I follow all these young skater girls on Instagram, like 10-year-old Japanese girls.
Just amazing.
They're unbelievable. Like their coordination and balance and fearlessness.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk like coaches a couple of them, and it is like the cutest, most badass thing ever.
That is awesome.
It's so cool.
It's good skill sets. You learn balance and kinesthetic awareness and
and crashing.
Exactly. I'll just learn how to handle it. Whew.
I never learned that.
Not how to do it well.
I would like.
Nice work here. Got the higher RPM around 95, so just in that uncomfortable range. And we're going to slow down again shortly. Down to 70 RPM in just a couple seconds. And here we go, slowing it down.
Oh,
70.
boy.
Now I'm starting to feel it. This is yesterday accumulating.
Yep.
A lot of riding at 70 RPM yesterday, I think. Definitely have more fatigue there. Just that muscular tired. Closing in on the end, though. Just a few more minutes.
Thank God.
Good work.
Dylan's going to work.
Heather is calling you out, Matt. Time to do some triathlon for Matt.
I know. I'm seeing the comments over here. She's putting me on the ropes for sure. Yeah.
And a relay doesn't count.
That's what I was gonna ask. I was like, can I get away with the relay?
Nope, doesn't count.
No way, man. I don't think I could do the focus. You guys, like, triathletes are so focused on the multiple disciplines. Like, I like one thing. Like, give me the bike. Like,
yeah, off-road triathlon's way more fun. And the mountain bike,
yeah,
trail run.
Oh, yeah.
That was my happy place.
Yeah, I think
I did all the other stuff, but Xterra was the most enjoyable.
I think that would be the way to go. I think if I were to.
Those look fun.
Sure. Yeah, I totally agree.
All right, back. Higher RPM bit. Here we go. Oh boy. Definitely feeling it. So trying to stay smooth, keeping upper body relaxed, core engaged. Relax those fingers and hands on the bars. Just gonna sit up on the top. Yeah, don't do the grip, death grip.
Yeah.
Just waste energy. Whew. Nice work.
Sorry for my heavy breathing.
Yeah, but I hear you. I'm there too.
I can't hear you over me.
That's funny. Many years ago, I used to go out and do the Iron Horse, do the road race Saturday, do the mountain bike race Sunday, and then drive back to Boulder and run the Boulder 10K Monday morning.
Brutal.
No swimming, but still a triathlon, I'd call it. Bike run.
Oh, the Iron Horse was my first bike race.
Oh, wow. That's not an easy
I walked up Kelowna.
That's amazing.
Road shoes.
Yeah. Ran out of gears.
I was just like so competitive and like never done a bike race and lined up. I'm pretty sure I lined up next to Mara Abbott.
Oh, geez.
I had a triple.
Hey, Evie, one of her first bike races on a triple crank on a touring bike at the Green Mountain stage race.
Oh, that's awesome.
So triples are way more capable than we give them. I mean, back in the early days, I mean, all mountain bikes were triple cranks. So,
Really?
triples were cool. Oh yeah. 28, 38, 48 with the 11, 28 in the back. That was mountain bike.
That was back when mountain bikes looked like gravel bikes, right?
Exactly. All right. Back up to a higher cadence here. Less than 2 minutes to go. Oh, man. Very good. Gonna get there.
Oh, that's why it's hard. I went back to erg mode.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We can switch back.
Woo! Just found that level setting.
Yeah, in level mode, you're in control.
Oh, glorious.
I'm just letting the machine take over, and I'm just trying to match it. I can't think today too much. Oh boy, here we go. Super big gear.
Oh
50
boy.
RPM. Here we go. Slowing it down. Oh, and standing at 50. WrestleMania. There we go. Less than a minute till the finish.
Woo.
Good work. Almost home. Good. We're getting close to the top here, Sarah. And we're going to rev it out. Last 30 seconds. Here we go. Oh, boy. Good work. All the way to the top. Here we go. 5. And happy with that. Yowzers. That was good job. Thanks, Sarah.
Thank you. Kicking my butt.
Yeah.
My rest day.
I need to refuel. Yeah, I've had to switch my rest days to Tuesdays.
Yeah, so much for Monday rest days.
Exactly.
Yeah, no. Whoopsie. My shirt is soaked. I made tie-dye.
Yeah, I'm fully. I'm full.
You made tie-dye. So has bread making been your thing, or tie-dye making been your thing on quarantine?
No, neither. I've been actually trying to skateboard again.
No.
Yeah, sorry. Sponsor. My wrists are good though.
Are you the one with the wrist protectors out there? Like, yeah, nice. I love that.
I'm smarter now.
Yeah. I think I'd say most kids dabbled in skateboarding at least at some point, tried it or something. Thing about it that is pretty compelling as a youth. And I know I did, but I definitely was the same way. I crashed enough times to say, this is not fun. Like this.
Yeah, I think it gets better than this, and it's not crashing.
Yeah. Ironically, you move over to, or for me, you move over to, road racing or road bikes, and like the crashes there are like less blunt force, but just as much damage.
Yeah.
A little more skin generally.
It's a trade-off, but well, listen, a lot of good comments. Everybody really enjoyed having you on today. Heather said she looks forward to meeting you actually in person and getting to race and stuff. So
same, Heather.
Yeah, and Ian said hi as well. So you got everybody on
joining in.
I think you guys would hit it off for sure. Hopefully we will, we'll get to see each other in person this year. That'd be nice. I know Oregon Gravel Grinder, is kind of going to be a big one for you this year, and fingers crossed things kind of come together. But it's kind of looking like 2020 might not be the year for racing. So,
but it is a good time to work on some other stuff, skills, mental health,
enjoy things,
relationships.
Everything. I think a lot of people are working on relationships and mental health right now. That's for sure.
It's great. You have time right now. There's a nice pause.
And May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and I know you're very proactive. And kind of, I wouldn't say proselytizing, but making kind of normalizing the need for people to get help. And even when you don't realize you need help, just talking, and
that's why I was a little late, was because I was just getting off my FaceTime with my monthly therapist check-in.
That's a good reason.
Full disclosure.
For sure.
Exactly. Taking care of things. That's good.
Yep.
But that's right. I mean, and if you haven't, for those listening, if you haven't listened to the Breakfast with Boz podcast interview with Sarah, Ian, it's really, really good. It's super compelling. And Sarah talks, about her relationship with mental health, but with therapists and kind of normalizing it. And then just speaking for myself as a guy, like for dudes, just it needs to be normalized. It's everybody needs someone to talk to. So
having a neutral is an awesome thing in your life, and there's tons of resources too.
Yeah, and especially right now. I mean, like things are moving towards that, but even with kind of this current pandemic kind of situation, there's even more resources out there now.
Absolutely.
So, we say all that to say essentially, find something. It's Mental Health Awareness Month, so let's go ahead and get behind it and find something, someone you can speak to that's neutral. Work on yourself. That goes hand in hand with the physical, training that you're going to do using, training plans like the Sufferfest. There's mental workouts in there as well, but find a way to address all aspects. Both emotional, mental, physical. This is the time to do it for sure.
And if you're feeling super lonely, because I know a lot of people out there probably are right now, like this is an awesome way, like join us on these rides. Like even this helps, I feel like I'm getting some social fuel in here. It's nice to see other people and ride along next to them, even if they're in a different state or city or whatever.
Yeah. And you're going to be co-leading a ride with Pete Stetna tomorrow over on Pete's gravel Zwift ride, right?
Yes. I have to figure that out. Okay, Tuesday isn't rest day either.
Nice 4-day training block.
Yeah.
You can rest on that ride for sure. You trust me. That
Sorry
one.
To my coach.
You can rest on that ride. But hey, if you're listening, join that ride. It's a great community as well. And
love to see ya.
And Sarah is super entertaining and it's fun to be around and inspiring. So. We definitely join tomorrow and then come back here on Wednesday for some strength workouts and cross training, and then we'll have Sarah back here for Q&A and more discussion time on Friday. So have your questions ready and share it with friends and start putting your comments and everything in now. So, Sarah, anything else from you before we let you go?
No, thank you so much, Neil. It was as fun as it could have been.
Awesome.
I enjoyed chatting with you.
Definitely. It was great.
Thanks, Sarah. We'll see you. Thanks, Sarah. We'll see you on Friday.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye. All right, Neil. And then it was 2. Good workout today.
Yeah, definitely another solid effort. So even dialed down, I was feeling that. So everyone at home, hopefully you did what you could relative to what you did over the weekend, and make sure you recover well.
Yeah. Well, Neil, we'll catch you back here on Friday for Q&A with Sarah, and then have fun this week. I know you need some recovery time, and I know you've been doing a bunch of gardening, so we'll get an update on that. If you don't follow Neil on Instagram, give him a follow. It's all a lot of fun. So
there we go. Came back.
Thanks, Neil. Yep. Thanks, Neil. We'll catch up with you on Friday.
Thanks, Matt.
All right, and then there was 1. Thanks, guys, for joining. Hope you guys had a great workout, even if you just watched. Hope it was entertaining. Go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Share it with friends that you think will enjoy the workout or the discussion with Sarah. Also, share about Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Live Q&A with Sarah. We'll talk all things training, racing, all things. Who knows where the direction will go with Sarah, so we'll have a good time for sure. But if you're not already a subscriber, look down in the information on the description below. All the information is there, as well as the code for the free trial. Sign up for a plan and start training for whatever your next goal is going to be. Right now, could just be maintaining and staying fit. All right, guys. Be healthy and be happy and have a great afternoon.